Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with my lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that do this work in truth and in sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying and to the point. And I want to get into this little topic that I had in mind. All right. Inspiration is by, a few brothers that I've seen. They did a video, all right, of spiritual warfare. All right. So I'm gonna entitle this lesson, all right, the spiritual battlefield in your mind. All right. And this is definitely all right, a spiritual battle. Okay, not just on the field, which is when you see brothers out there on the highways and the byways, all right, they're spiritually fighting, all right, and tearing this place down. But there's also a spiritual battle that goes on, all right, when the cameras are off and brothers are out there, all right, in their, day-to-day lives, having to fight, all right, spiritual battles, spiritual demons, all right, trying to attack their thoughts, all right, their minds, all right, their hearts, all right. And contrary to popular belief, all right, your heart isn't the muscle that's beating in your chest, all right, that's pumping blood and oxygen throughout your body. All right, according to the Bible, your heart is your mind, all right, which in the Hebrew is your lob, all right, and it's being attacked, all right, on all levels, all right, by demons, all right, spirits that we can't see, all right, but we can detect, Shalakia, but we can detect those things, all right, through the spirit and through discernment, all right. So let me grab this scripture real quick, all right. This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 13, and it says, give me, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna start over here. Shalakia. This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and 9. All right. It says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? All right. And the Lord knows. All right. Which is why we need the covering of Yahweh Shem Shai to be able to combat with these different demons. All right. And I know, brothers know, you have these certain cartoons. All right. Looney Tunes or whatever the case be, whatever cartoons that you can think of. All right, you always have that scenario where you have all right, a demon on the left side, and then you have a angel on the right side, and you have the demon telling them to do one thing, which is bad, and then you have the angel, all right, the guidance, all right, telling them do another, all right, and that's the spiritual battle that you're fighting, all right, within your mind every single day, all right? And the way that you combat with that demon, all right, is the spirit, all right? Staying spiritual, all right? Staying on a high frequency, all right, to be able to combat with these demons that try to infiltrate your mind, all right? Try to make you go off, try to do something that, all right, will disconnect you from Yahweh Shemi Shai, all right? And ultimately, get you killed. All right, like that thing in Training Day. All right, when Denzel was playing, the cop or not, or whatever it is. All right, he was like, that type of shit out there, or that type of shit out here, will get you killed with the Lord, man. All right, so you know, that's what Satan wants to do. All right, he wants to sift you. All right, the scriptures speak about that, how Satan, all right, seeketh to try to sift out the elect. All right, he tries to pull you in by these different things. All right, and try to get you to go back into the world. All right, so you have to stay on your spiritual pivot, man. All right. So again, it says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. All right. So the heart, your mind, is seeking to try to fulfill the will of your flesh. All right. But the scriptures also speak about how the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. All right. So it's like a back and forth battle. It's like clashing of the swords of both of the one and the other, man. All right, and it says, "Who can know it? The Most High." So, the only way that we will be able to defend ourselves from these wicked thoughts and things that come into our mind is by dwelling in the Spirit, man. All right, look here at this real quick. All right, this is Sirach 25 and 13. It says, "Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman." All right. And it says, "Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart." All right. And the plague of the heart is the mind. Okay. Again, your mind is your heart, man. All right. And you don't want to be given over into the will of your heart. All right. The will of your mind, the will of your flesh, because, all right, giving into the will of your flesh, all right, will ultimately get you deleted out here by the Heavenly Father, man. All right. Again, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, okay? Because the heart is wicked, man. All right, is desperately seeking to fulfill the lust of the flesh at all times, man. All right. So the way that you combat that is, man, is by prayer. All right, you got to pray to the Heavenly Father. All right, to keep you on that straight and narrow gate. All right, the scriptures speak about how there's a fire on one side and there's water on the other. All right, and you got to walk between the two. All right, you got to walk on that straight and narrow gate, man. All right, otherwise you're going to be consumed by one or the other. All right, so let me grab this real quick. All right, bear with me. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding." All right, so you got to lean into the understanding of the Lord, all right? And the understanding of the Lord is to fulfill, all right, the spirit, all right? Stay in the spirit, be in the spirit, all right? As the scriptures say, meditate on these scriptures day and night, and thou shalt have good success. All right, good success with what? All right, being able to fight against the flesh, all right, and win over with the spirit. All right, that's the objective, that's the goal. All right, let me grab this one. All right. Bear with me. This is Romans chapter 7, verse 14. It says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold unto sin, sold under sin." All right. So, all right, we know to stay spiritual. We know to be spiritual. All right. But our flesh, all right, we're carnal. We're we're in these fleshly bodies. All right. And we're not perfect. All right, but we strive to try to be perfect, all right, as Yahweh Shai. And the only way to do that is by, all right, putting on the whole armor, basically, of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which is this word, all right, to combat, all right, these things, man, all right, because Satan doesn't give a damn about, all right, he doesn't give a damn about uh, any of that. He's gonna try to sift you out. He's gonna try to make you, all right, go off, man. All right. Um, and it can come in many forms, like I said. All right. It could be it could be a woman at the job. All right. She can have a husband. All right. And she's flirting with you. All right. She's attractive. All right. Whatever the case may be. And she's trying to get at you, but yet she has a husband at home. All right. That's spiritual warfare, man. All right. That's the spiritual warfare that you can be fighting each and every day, man. All right. And you got to be able to combat that through the spirit. All right. Let's go here real quick, all right? Because all kind of wickedness be going on in these days, man. And Jake just be falling for it. I be just seeing it, man. Also the women too as well, man. All right. So, Jake doesn't have any he don't have any guidance. He don't have any understanding. So he follows his flesh, man. All right. That's what's so beautiful about the truth. And that's so what's so beautiful about what the Lord has given us to be able to give us the understanding, all right, to be able to know what's right from what's wrong. And it really be honest, Jake knows what's wrong, but he still does it, all right, because what he doesn't have the truth, man, all right. The truth prevents you from doing those things, man. All right, prayer prevents you from doing those things. So let's go here. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. It says, "Then I say," it says, "Then it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." All right. So, there's constantly spirits that are in the spirit world that we can't see that are pulling us to try to do the things that are of the flesh. All right. And on the other hand, you have the spirit that's pulling you to stay in the spirit. So these are contrary one to the other, man. All right. But it says, um, but if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. All right. All these are the nature of the flesh, man. All right. Which we must pray constantly and daily. All right. To basically pluck up those seeds which try to be planted, man. All right. The scriptures even say, if a man uh, even thinks or lust after a woman that's married, he already committed adultery in his heart, man. All right. So, this is just a wicked, sinful kingdom, man. All right. And it don't even have to be in that far. It could be in many other things, man. Satan attacks you. All right. You can be in the middle of doing a lesson, about to do a lesson. All right. Next thing somebody you ain't even spoke to in about, I don't know, 3, 4 months, 5 months, they calling your phone, seeing and checking up and seeing how you are. All right. Or somebody coming to check and see if you can do something for them. All right. It's just spiritual warfare, and that's just constantly trying to throw you off your spiritual pivot, man. All right. We heard about the e-files and about how these elites they worship, all right, these different deities and idols, all right, Baal and Molech and all these different things. They throw up these sacrifices of children and people, all right, to these deities, man. All right. And they know about the men of the Lord, man. All right. And they're casting spells and enchantments against them so that way Satan can play on their mind to where they'll be able to fall out the truth, man. Again, Satan seeketh who he may try to devour, man. So as more and more as we get closer to the end, these spiritual battles are gonna get more and more harder. All right, but at the same time, it's character development, man. You're building up your character, you're building up your spirit. You get stronger and stronger each time with each battle. All right, yes, you fall down sometimes, but a righteous man fall down 7 times, but he standing back up, man. All right, getting stronger than ever, man. All right, just like that anime, what the Saiyans. Every time they get into a battle, all right, they get stronger. Just like your immune system. Every time your immune system, all right, gets into a battle, all right, it gets stronger. All right, spiritually likened unto the elect as well, man. All right, they're gonna continue to get stronger. They're gonna dwell in the spirit. all right, and overcome, all right, these odds through Yahweh Shemi Awashai. All right, and I'm gonna end it out on this one right here. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, and it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, and against the rulers of darkness of this world." All right, and we already know what the rulers of this world, we already know the gods and the deities that they worship. They worship Satan, man. All right, they get around in a round table, all right, as the elder says, all right, and they have a seat that's empty specifically for the demon Satan, all right, and they have conversations and think about how they can overthrow the elect and get you people in the net in the snare, man. All right, to what fulfill their enterprise, their new world order. All right, and it says against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. All right, so this ain't no regular battle. We literally we have spiritual darts and arrows and everything flying above you and across your head each and every day, brothers. All right, when you out and about, you on the highway, you driving down the road. All right, you have angels guiding you and protecting you throughout the way. You have a spiritual dome on you, man. That's why the elder, all right, always pushes prayer, man. Pray, 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 pray before you leave your house. All right, uh, uh, pray as you're traveling. Pray for other brothers. All right, constantly stay in prayer, man, because these prayers, all right, literally have a shield around you, man. All right, that's protecting you and the ones that you care for and you love. All right, so it says again, um, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, therefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. All right. So the whole armor of the Lord is the scriptures, man. All right. And you put it on by walking in it. All right. When those different thoughts or whatever the case may be, whatever spiritual adversity comes in your way, you maneuver it and you handle it through the spirit of the word. That's how you fight against it. It says, stand therefore having your loins girded about with truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. All right. Your feet showed with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. So, uh, bear with me just for 1 second. I want to check into something. Uh, okay. Shalakia. So I'm gonna read that again. All right. I'm gonna start at again, yeah, 16. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. Faith. All right. You gotta believe in the prayers that you're praying. All right, and that the Lord is gonna do the things that He's gonna do when you ask for Him, man. All right. Faith. All right. Faith is a mustard seed, man. All right. It says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Lord. So that's how you cut all them thoughts and those demons that be coming through your mind. You cut them with the spirit of truth, which is the word. It says praying always with prayer. Shalakia, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. All right, prayer, Agim. That's the thing. Pray, constantly pray. All right, to the Yahweh Shemi Awashai, man. All right, so constantly stay in the spirit. All right, fast, pray, eat, work out, like the brothers say. All right, stay on that spiritual high vibration. All right, even the things that you eat have a vibration on them and can lower your vibration. All right, which can make you vulnerable. All right, so brothers speak about that, putting life into your body. All right, eating the right things that keeps you on a high vibration. All right, constantly listen to videos. All right, constantly listen to the elders. Whatever the case may be, that keeps you in a high frequency, a high level. All right, all of these things. All right, so again, stay spiritually aware. All right, to the devices and the nets of the these demons out here. All right, and continue to combat them with the word, man. Meditate on the word. Think about the word. Think about the word of the Lord. That'll keep you in check. That examining yourself. All right, that's gonna keep you locked in, man. All right, so Lord willing, this video was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, the abundance of the elders and the apostle, great millstone. Until the next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.